Alright, howdy, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video for Tower Fantasy. I'm Ventus SGN. Alright, guys, so somebody left a comment or a question on one of my videos recently. I think it was like yesterday, day before yesterday, and they wanted to know which of these banner characters that are out right now are worth it to pull on because they were new to the game. And I'm guessing if that person had a question about it, somebody else might have a question about it who also is just picking up the game for the first time. Because I do realize there are a lot of banners out right now, at least for the next 2 days as the making of this video. There are a lot of banners and a lot of characters to pull on. So I'll just give my opinions, and down in the comments if you are a regular here and you want to give your opinion on some of these characters, just on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe rate each of the weapons that are represented on these banners, and maybe if other people are having a question about these characters, they can look at your comments as well, and not just take my opinion on it, because I might be biased in some of my opinions, or I might just be super uninformed in some of my opinions, because I admit I don't have all of the characters, but I can give my opinion on the characters that I do have, and maybe some light, suggestions about the characters that I don't have. Alright, so let's start off with this banner character right here, Dragonhorn banner. This is going to be the character of Mimi, and I 100% think that everybody who plays the game should have Mimi in some capacity, because I feel like this character, while traditionally speaking or canonically speaking or whatever the case may be, most Volt characters are not super free to play friendly, and I guess anybody who just picks up the game might be a little bit free to play, but if you're whaling, then you can probably just, be super powerful with anything you get, because you can just throw money at everything and get everything good. But no, I think if you are the average person and you don't have a whole lot of money to spend, or you don't want to spend any money, I think Mimi is definitely a really good character to get. And Mimi is, of course, the banner character here, the little girl, the Azure Dragon, or Hwang is what the Simulacra character is going to be named when you look at the Simulacra page. I really like the character. I think that this is probably the most powerful character that I have right now, and I only have this character at advancement 3, and that's, saying something, because I also have an A3 Fiona, which everybody will probably agree is the most powerful character in the game, but I feel like this character is the most powerful character that I own at A3. So I don't think you should miss this chance for this character, this weapon. But you only have a couple days left to get this weapon. So if you're watching this video and you're wondering what should I pull on, I think 100% this should be the one that you pull on if you don't pull on anything, because this character is super good. When it comes to the weapon chips are very good for this character too. I got the weapon chips. Are they absolutely necessary? Not really absolutely necessary, but they do augment the character and make the character hit a little bit harder. But the A0 of this character, no constellation, is super good. And then if you actually get the constellation of this character, the A1, it's really good, and A3, like I said, is perfect. And then A5, A6, if you wail on it, you'll just become a powerhouse. Moving down to this, the new banner character, one that the game is promoting right now, Phase C. I'll be honest with you, a lot of the community, and that just encompasses like everybody who plays the game, from the Chinese version to just everything that I've heard about this character. Everybody, like, nobody really says anything super good about this weapon, this character, Phase C, except unless it's like A5, A6, and they say that's when the power of this character really comes out. I have this character, I have this weapon at A2, and as much as it pains me to say it, because I don't like to talk super negative about stuff in the game, I like to look at the bright side of things. I gotta tell you, I just don't see a whole lot of point to getting this character A0, A1, even at A2 I have it. I assume at A3 it's going to be a little bit better, because it has some abilities that unlock. I mean, sure, the mechanic with this weapon is she does more damage the more illusions are on the field. So she's like an off-screen DPS, I think, off-screen support. She kind of reminds me of Rubilia in a way. I'll talk about Rubilia in just a second. But as far as like on-screen DPSing, I don't think she's it. I don't think that she's going to help you to put out numbers like Mimi will, like some of these other characters. So, I mean, I just don't know if this character is super worth it if you're not willing to, like, get her to A5, A6. That's my opinion on it. If you have some other opinions on it, definitely let us know down in the comments. But, this is just from my own personal experience. Alright, and so now these are the other banner characters that are going to be out now. We've got 23 days on these, so I don't know when you're watching this video, but if you're watching this video anywhere close to when the video was uploaded, it was uploaded on September 30th. These are the banner characters that are with Phase C. These are fire characters that you can get. And I gotta tell you, I've never used Annabelle, the Royal Endowment. This one, I've never used this Annabelle character. However, if you want, you can, go to this screen. You can go to the trial. You can press X if you're on PlayStation, and you can play with the character. From what I've seen from my viewers and subscribers and commenters, is that her power really comes with dodge skills, and she has a lot of range with her rifle. But other than that, I've never really heard anything super good about this weapon. Nothing that makes me think I need to have this weapon. And I say that in contrast to whenever I first started playing this game on PlayStation, and the other characters that were on that banner were out, people were always telling me about certain characters, and they were saying certain good things about these characters. So it would inspire me to want to get these characters, and there were some characters that they were just weren't saying good things about. And Annabelle, this character is not something that I've heard anything good about. I've not heard anything bad about this character as well. As a matter of fact, they say that she's got the best Simulacra. I don't know. You'll have to check it out for yourself, but never heard anything super good about this character. Moving on to Blazing Whirlpool. This is land. This is going to be the newest fire tank. I think that if you do get Phase C, the Phase C Simulacra character, you're going to need other characters to sort of help do damage. And the land character is probably going to be one of those characters that does that. Land has an interesting ability to where she can, like, shoot her parasol or umbrella places and teleport to it. So she's got sort of like an overland movement. She's got her own built-in glider. She can sort of glide down whenever you're using her. But as far as damage and protection goes, and defense or whatever like that, I think that when it comes to defense in Shatter, like, I only have the character at A0, so no advancements for me in this character, so I can't really speak on the advancement. But judging from what I have on her, she does really good damage with her Vermilion Domain, and I can only assume that her damage will go up. I don't know what's going on with this game right now, to where they are making their tank characters, their defense characters deal damage just as much as their DPS characters, and they're not really focusing on the defense aspect anymore. Like, the Huma character really focuses on defense, the Saki character really focuses on defense, but these new tank characters, they really don't focus on defense as much as they do damage. So, I mean, if you're looking to do fire damage with your Phase C, definitely you want to get this character, but this is not going to be the best character for fire damage. The best character for fire damage is going to be Leowa. This is probably the second best DPS in the game right now. So if you're looking at this and you're like, I only have a small amount to use, and I need a character that's free to play friendly, something that is fire because I want fire, this is going to be the character that you want. You want to get this character. I have this character at A0, and I can tell you this character is amazing at A0, and I have heard a lot of good things about this character at every advancement. So this is going to be the character that you're going to want to spend your money on. If you don't want to spend your money on Phase C, you don't want to spend your money on land, or whatever the case may be, or your pools, this is the character that you're going to want. It's a giant paintbrush. It looks really cool. And now, here's the thing, though, right? This is what they do. With the Phase C character, they sort of have this character working with the other characters. Like, Phase C's damage is, she has a mechanic where damage is increased on the number of illusions that are on the field, and she creates illusions. Two other characters on the fire banner, land, she creates illusions with her umbrellas. They kind of create like a little it's called a Vermilion Domain, and she has her umbrellas out there. Like, if you attack with her or without her while she's on your team, just these umbrellas appear on the screen, and those count as illusions, and damage is multiplied or increased based on how many illusions are out there. The same thing with Leowa or the Pine Comet. When you attack with her, more calligraphy illusions, just spawn on the field. And they sort of made it to work together with Phase C. So Phase C, Land, Leowa are sort of like a combo. I've tried using Phase C, Land, and Leowa as this combo as a solo DPS, and it doesn't work because you need heals. So you're going to have a support character on your team, so you won't get the full DPS if you're by yourself. At least that's just been my experience. If you have a dedicated healer with you, because this is an MMO, this is a game that you play with other people, the damage should be more than adequate, even at low advancement, but you just need someone to make sure that you stay alive. Alright, so moving on to the Arc Tether banner. Now, I don't have this character right here, I have this character, I don't have this character Finra, and I do not have this character Qian Lang, so I can't really speak to those characters. What you can do is, like I said earlier, go into the trial and play with them for yourself. You only have about 2 days left to make your decision on these characters, but I can tell you from my community and from everything that I've seen around the greater Tower of Fantasy community at large, is I've not heard any good things about Qian Lang, other than like the 1 or 2 people that are like Qian Lang mangs that just love the character or whatever, but from everybody else, nothing really good. I have heard a lot of good things about Fenrir. I've played with the character like in the trial a little bit, and it's good. It does really good damage. I've seen other people use this character in the game actually, so I can tell you that people are using this character, they're using this weapon, and I've heard good things about it. It does just really good AoE damage, like area effect damage, so you won't be wasting your money there. Now, what I can tell you about Rubilia, this is the one character that I chose to get back when this the banners were up where they had a bunch of characters, because people told me that there's the most, out of all the good things that I heard about all the different characters, there were only a few characters that I heard good things about the most, and those are the characters that I personally spent my money on so I could get those good characters, and Rubilia was one of those characters that I heard good things about the most, and that's simply because Rubilia has this mechanic to where she can fly. Now, normally I would tell you, do not get a character based on some flight mechanic, some mechanic that they do that's outside of combat, because you want the game to be a little bit easier when you fight. But her flight mechanic is actually probably the best flight mechanic in the game, and if I knew back then, before I had this character, what I know now about the character and exploration and getting the red nukes and the gold nukes and the black nukes and everything like that from all the different maps, I would have gotten this character a long time ago. And like I didn't even want this character. Truth to be told, if it didn't have the flight mechanic, I probably still would not want this character. But the fact of the matter is, it makes stuff so much easier in the game having this character that can just take off and fly at any time. So I think for that reason, and the thing about it is, what's crazy is I kind of want to contrast too, Phase C has a flight mechanic as well. It's really based on your endurance, but her flight mechanic, it's just like overland movement, makes you kind of go, you know, a little bit faster if you're, rather than just like running, and then you can kind of fly up with it, but it's kind of based on your endurance, and then you have to have advancements to make it do better. So I don't know, man, it just feels like they're trying to cash grab with this character, to be completely honest with you. So I mean, I'm not trying to dissuade you from getting the Phase C character. If you look at it and you think this character is cool, you should definitely get it. Like, I think Tower of Fantasy is a game that if you see something you like and it makes you want to play the game, get the character and play the game the way you like. But I think for a certainty, when it comes to this arc tether, if you don't get any of these characters from the whatever banner, you definitely want to get Rubilia. And another thing too, the reason why I went along with Rubilia is because I got Mimi, I got Huang, the Azure Dragon, and she has an advancement at A1 to where when summons are on the field, like things that just kind of do damage, like for instance, Nemesis Electrode, and then Rubilia, the one that flies, she has this thing where when she does her ult, she has these thorns that are on the ground, and they sort of stay there, and they do damage over time. Like Nemesis or things do damage over time, and they heal, but they lose health fast, and they go away. With Mimi's A1, she has the ability to heal those items. So, I mean, it just feels like in this, like, season of the game, Mimi, like, Volt is probably going to be it right now. Fire right now doesn't seem like it. In times past, Fire was the free-to-play element, and it seemed like everybody who had Fire was, like, really good with it, and I gotta tell you, I'm not free-to-play. I am sort of a dolphin, and I can, like, spend some money on the game, but I'm just not having a whole lot of fun with Fire right now. Volt is where the fun is at, and the Volt banner is going to be gone in 2 days, which is kind of crazy about it. But I don't know. Those are my opinions on the characters. If you guys who are in the know, because there are people out there who will be like, bro, you're faded. This is what you need to tell these people. If I missed out on explaining something, like instead of saying you didn't explain well, like somebody did in one of my comments, just go ahead and in a very polite way, just let us know in the comments like your experience with these characters, so somebody can make an informed decision about how to spend their money properly, I guess is the only word that I can think about it. But for a certainty, closing up, I think if you're going to pull on any banner, if you're watching this before the series is over with, you 1000% want to get Mimi. Phase C, that's kind of like a iffy. Out of the Fire banner, you definitely are going to want to get Liua, the Pine Comet. and I'm having a hard time navigating to it. That's the one that you're going to want. And then second to that, land. Annabelle, you could probably skip on if you want her, get her, but I think you could probably skip on it. But definitely Leo was going to be your first in like main choice there. Secondary land, and then Phase C as like an just extra option, because I just don't see Phase C at lower advancements doing anything good for your fire team. I mean, of course she does something, but I mean, if it was up to me, if I had a choice to get advancements of Leowa or try to pull for Phase C, I would probably get the advancements of Leowa. And Leowa is the Pine Comet, and that's the giant like paintbrush calligraphy brush. This. All right. So I hope I didn't ramble too much. It's been 15 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you were helped by this video, definitely go ahead and give a thumbs up to it, and leave me a question down below if you have it, and I'll try to answer it. And if I can't answer it, somebody else will probably answer it, or they'll probably answer it after I answer it and give you a more like a longer response.